kind of crazy that we're just right here. We can just like touch the Berlin Wall.
Checking me out of room 201.
201? Yes. Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy the stay.
I hate these ramp escalators.
I don't understand the point of them. They take up so much more space and it's so much harder to hold your stuff. Why not just put in a normal escalator? We're in Berlin.
Good morning from Berlin, the capital of Germany. We've been wanting to come here for a while, but unfortunately today is only a stopover. We're here for half a day. It was a 14-hour train ride to our next destination. So we decided to stay a night in Berlin to split up the journey a little bit. We found this really cool dance studio, and it's just a completely open studio with a little mattress bed on the floor, but it was really comfortable. Anyway, our plan today is to see as much of Berlin as we can. We're not going to run around. That'll be exhausting, and we still have to catch a train tonight. So let's go see what we can see. We're trapped in here. It's a dungeon.
No! Help. Yay!
That was kind of hard. And there's our bus leaving us.
Just missed it. Dumb light. Traffic light. I have one positive and one negative about being back in Germany. My one positive is that it feels nice to hear a language that is somewhat familiar. I mean, obviously we can't understand everything, but we can get bits and pieces. And everyone speaks English here because supposedly it's the
International, very diverse, and so English is more spoken than German.
But the negative is that masks are still required on public transportation in Germany.
It's the only country in Europe that still requires masks.
And in the middle of our train ride, when we were crossing the border from Denmark to Germany, they put on an announcement to put our masks on. Like literally in the middle of the train ride. Dumb.
We're super hungry this morning, so we stopped at a local back factory. It's just like a little bakery, like a fast food bakery. I got a spinach. No, this is a chicken and cheese burek. I got a chocolate muffin. And I got a spinach and cheese, whatever this guy is. Pretty exciting. Also, Elena got a chicken wrap and something else, right?
Yeah,
Oh, a chocolate croissant inside
croissant.
there. Berlin food tour, part 1. Also, we need to do laundry really bad, so I'm walking around and I'm kind of self-conscious that my clothes smell really bad all day.
I'm smelling pretty bad too.
From our little cafe spot, we can see our first destination, which is Checkpoint Charlie. It was the best known crossing point between East Berlin and West Berlin whenever the Berlin Wall was up. So that's why there's like a little sign that says you are leaving the American sector, because it was like the Allied versus the Communists. Kind of interesting. There's a lot of history in Berlin. There's also 2 portraits, one of a Soviet soldier and one of an American soldier, and we had to do some digging to find out what those were. But basically it's just to commemorate. They were 2 of the last people on either side in 1994,
Yeah.
whenever the war ended, and so it's commemorating the 2 sides. We're currently walking through a giant square in front of the Humboldt University. There's no one here, it's just like a completely empty square. But in the middle is a memorial to the book burning that happened in this square. 20,000 books were burned. And so in this little piece of glass, there are enough bookshelves down below to house 20,000 books. It's kind of hard to see, but
Not too far away from the book memorial is the Gendarmenmarkt, which has 3 very beautiful buildings. One of them behind me is the German Cathedral. The one right here is the Concert House Berlin, which is under construction right now. And then over here we have the French Cathedral.
Right now we're in the memorial to the murdered Jews of Europe, and it's just over 2,000 concrete pillars that all stand together in rows. It's somewhat controversial actually, because the same company that produced the Zyklon B gas produced the anti-graffiti spray that's on each individual pillar. So that's a little interesting. It's also weirdly moving and contemplative, even though there's very little explanation for what the actual pillars represent. It's just like a giant forest of concrete, and there's so many of them, you actually can get lost in here pretty easily. This is also a popular spot for kids to play in, like all the way from little kids to high schoolers, kind of just hanging out or laughing in these catacombs, which is, you can probably hear some right now, which is a little interesting. It's kind of like at the Anne Frank house, how everyone was like giving thumbs up next to her house. It just doesn't seem right. Right now we're walking under Brandenburg Gate. This is where Napoleon once walked through, so I think we're in pretty good company.
Also, it's just an iconic landmark. No more. Paparazzi, get away. No more.
Right now we're in front of the Reichstag building. To be honest, we didn't really want to be tourists today, but we ended up being big tourists and just doing a big walk of the city. So we still have a few more places we want to go. Our goal from now on, just to put this in the video so that we do it, is to be less touristy. We've been doing a lot of walking tours, which is probably the best way to see the cities, but anyway, this building is the Parliament building, and you have to book it like 3 weeks or 3 months, one or the other, in advance. So we're not going inside. But it is nice, and there's a nice park all around here.
We're enjoying the big green space. It's reminding us of Centennial Park in Nashville.
The more we go to all these big cities in Europe, the more we realize that Nashville, our home, is actually really unique and cool. Funny how that works. Look at that brown pigeon. That's unique.
I just yawned.
You already know no trip to a city would be complete without a visit to its main cathedral.
It's very pretty. As soon as you walk past this like tree line, it's this big open field with pretty sidewalks, and I mean this building is just insane. So.
Hey buddy, where are you going? And of course, it is under construction.
As usual. Please enjoy this callback tone while your party is reached. Dun, 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 dun. We looked up the #1 food to try in Berlin, and it is currywursts. So we're about to try them right now. I don't know about the sauce on top. It's kind of weird, but...
Is it not curry?
It has like curry powder.
Oh,
but the sauce is like... I don't know. You can try it.
It's a little windy, so I'm not sure how much you'll be able to hear, but we're currently walking along the east side gallery. It's the longest remaining section of the Berlin Wall still standing today. It's 4,318 feet.
It's kind of crazy that we're just right here. We can just like touch the Berlin Wall. It's very significant, like a very significant piece of history.
What used to be a sign of like tension and separation is now a place of art, and so every little section has a different artist who did a mural or a different sort of something on it. Pretty cool. This is also our last stop for today, all we have time for. So now we're headed back to our Airbnb to pick up our bags, and then we're gonna get on the train to head to our next destination. Tune in tomorrow to see where we go.
It's gonna be fun.
We found Waldo.